Hello there YouTubers, welcome back to another episode of Skywind007. On today's episode we're going to be looking at this. This is the Yada 1080p Roadcam. So they call it a Roadcam instead of a dashcam, but I'm assuming it's the same thing. And it has a high definition, 1080p, 2.2 screen, 2.2 inches. Has a G sensor, and most of these dash cams have a G sensor, so that's not special. And a digital clock. I've never seen a dash cam with an analog clock, but oh well. I got this from Walmart, and there are more features on the back. It has a park and record mode, has loop recording. Most of these cameras have loop recording, date stamp, and motion detection. So there's nothing unusual about this camera. So the main purpose of this review will be the quality of the image. See if it's really 1080p. So let's go ahead and open it up. Okay, so I stand corrected. I said there was nothing unusual about this dash cam. But there is something unusual. There is something unusual about this dash cam. Most of them have a micro USB and this one has a mini USB. So it's worth noting, and I think it's a good thing, because a micro USB, not a lot of devices use that anymore. It's pretty much outdated. The world has moved on. But anyway, here's what we're looking for. So it's very simple, which is good. It doesn't look expensive, which is good. It does bring the SD card or TS card, however you wanna call it. Has a reset hole right there. Here are the buttons on the right side. Memory, down, up, power. Okay, so this mainly goes like this. You put it there, and then you put it on your windshield. Like that. Like that. I'm sorry. Let's take this off. And I think there's another piece of plastic. Let's take that off. And there you have it. So it's very, very lightweight and very small. And it has AV in, audio, video in. I don't know why you would want that. I have no idea, but it could be that you would want that for the backup camera, which you don't have. So let me read the instructions. Let me pause. Okay, so I have read the instructions, and for sure this hole is for the rear view camera, which is not included. So let's power it up. Wow, that does look nice. As you can see, it does have a fisheye effect. Which is a bit awkward, but let's pause the recording and let's look at the menu. So the video resolution right here. You get these options: FHD, HD, and VGA. So let's leave it at HD. So that's the video resolution. Photo resolution, I'm going to leave it at 5M. 5 megapixels. Loop record. That is, that's going to divide all the files into individual files. They're going to last 1, 2, 3, or 5 minutes. And when the camera runs out of memory, it's going to delete the older file. So I'm going to leave it at 1 minute. Motion detection. Motion detection will detect, basically, it is what it says, it'll detect motion. So I'd rather it record constantly than just wait for there to be motion. So I'm going to leave that off. So let's keep going. White balance. I'm going to leave that alone. That's just the video quality. Sharpness, exposure. I'm going to leave that alone. Screensaver. That's just, this controls how long the screen will be turned on. For example, you turn on your car and the screen will be on either 3, 5, or 10 minutes. I'm going to leave it at 3. So that was screensaver. And then record angle. Oh no, I'm sorry, record audio. I'm going to leave it on so it'll record audio. Parking monitor. This is basically going to wake up the device. If something bumps into the car, it has a motion detector inside, a G sensor, gravity sensor, and it'll wake it up. So I'm going to leave it on just for demonstration, but in real life I don't like to use it too much. And then the G sensor sensitivity, we're going to leave it at high just for demonstrations. Date and time. Here's where you get to set the date and time. So it's December. Today's the 14th. (2021). I'll leave that alone. And the time is 5 p.m. So 5 p.m. will be, I believe, 17. So that's 5. And the time is, the minutes are 42. And the seconds, I'm going to leave them alone. So let's carry on. Language. Apparently you only have English. That's weird. Which is fine. I don't have an issue with that. The date, and here's the date stamp. I'm going to leave it on. That'll put the date on the video. So remember, if you're going to have that date on the video, you want to have that correct. The last thing you want is to have video evidence of something that has the wrong date, and then somebody might argue against your video because it has another date. Frequency. I'm going to leave it at 60 frequency because I live in the United States. Some other countries like Japan and Australia, they use 50 Hertz, but I use 60 Hertz. So I'm going to leave it at that. Format. You can format the SD card. So let me do that because it's brand new. So we're doing that. We're done. And then default settings. That'll reset everything to factory settings. I'm not going to do that. And then you have this version right there. Not very important at all. And then regulatory information. This is the FCC information, which there are 2 pages to that. I'm not going to worry about it. And we are done. We are finished as far as settings. Okay, so before we go to the car, I do want to demonstrate 2 features. I want to demonstrate the motion detection, and I want to demonstrate the parking mode. So motion detection, it will only record when there is motion. So right now I set it up for motion detector. So you do have to actually power up the camera, and that'll happen automatically when you turn on your car. And once it detects motion, it'll start recording. So let's test that. There you go. You see right here, it started recording. So let's do that again. Let me pause. Okay, so let's generate some motion. You'll see Over here, you're going to see that red counter when the recording starts. There you go. So it starts recording. So now let's test the parking mode. So let me turn it off. So parking mode or parking wait, it depends on the camera, but on this camera, I think it's called parking mode. It's going to wake up when it feels a bump. For example, let's say this other car bumps into your car, and it'll wake up the camera and then it'll start recording. Okay, so here comes a car. This is the car that's going to back up into your car, and it's going to wake up the camera and it's going to start recording. So it bumps into your car like that, and it automatically wakes up. So as you can see it driving off. Let's try that again. A car comes and it bumps into your car like that. And there you have it. So it does start recording, and you can't see that little icon over there that says has a little man running away. That's the park wake or park mode. So let me turn that off because I'm not going to be using that. Okay folks, so I do believe that it is time to go to the car, and let's see how good this is. Let's go. I'm not expecting any issues during the daytime. The biggest concern with all these cameras is nighttime. And I can see through the LED screen that it's doing well. It's doing what I would expect from a dash cam, which is to simply record what's happening in I wish they would be able to read a license plate, but for this camera for $25, you can't expect that. It's not going to happen. Maybe 10 years down the road, they'll be able to make a very good camera that can read license plates, but not this one, not this year, 2021. But anyway, here we go. So you can see everything is nice and bright outside. Well, it is a little cloudy, but no big deal. So here's the school zone. Let's see if we can read those signs. Here's another sign. It says 20 miles an hour. And now it's sunshine over here. So it's nice and bright. Okay, so this is the darkest road I could find right here. So there's very few light here, so we're gonna make a right on this stop sign, and you're gonna see that there are no light poles in this road. So we make a right. As you can see to the right, there's an airport. "40 miles per hour. I hope you saw that sign. and it's dark here, and I hope you can see the road. I think you can, and there are no light poles here, completely dark. So here we go, and this is it. This is the darkest road you could possibly find, at least in my area. There goes a car. Okay, so here we are in my car. So we are parked to the side of the road. We're in the apartments. And if you were wondering what that message on the box meant, where it said that it had a clock, this is it right here. It times out and then a clock shows up and it shows the date and everything. So let's take a look. So it's 7:16. Let's look at the car. So that's nice to be able to know the date when you're on your car, because when you're in your car, all you know is the time, like this right here. But this actually tells you the date. So we're in December 14th, 2021. So I like that because I've never seen this on a dash cam. Okay folks, so we are back. So I'm definitely happy with this camera. I do recommend it. It's not perfect. The only issue that I noticed with this camera was in the transition between one clip and the other. So as you know, we have set it to 1 minute clip. So when that 1 minute clip ended and the next one started, you saw in the video that the audio was interrupted, but the video was okay. So that's a good thing, that the video was not affected, but the audio was interrupted. So that's something you need to know. I don't think it's a big deal. I would still buy this camera, and I still can recommend this camera. For the price range, I will give it a 5 stars out of 5 because it's very good. It does a lot, and it's very easy to use, and it has that clock that we saw. It was a clock with a date stamp. So I've never seen that on a dash cam. But anyway, I do like this camera. I do recommend it 100%. So thank you for watching, subscribe, and thumbs up.